Welcome back to Kiwi Bred. Last season's New Zealand Derby winning filly Habibi's the pride and joy of her Taranaki breeders Peter and Heather Crofskey. I recently chatted to the pair about the breeding of this very talented daughter of Ekra. Habibi made the dreams of her breeders come true last season, taking out the 2013 New Zealand Derby. A dream that began several years earlier when her dam Danny Holiday was gifted to the Crofskeys by Taranaki horseman Warren Bolton.
He doesn't breed horses, he races them, he buys them to race. And we've known Warren for many years. He phoned us up one night and he said, I'm off to Paris tomorrow and I've got a mare. She's won a race, she's placed a couple of times, but she's got good breeding in her and I'm not interested. Will you take her? And Pete and I said, well, no, we've got a couple of mares and we're not really into major sort of breeding exploits and things like that. But thanks, Warren. And the next morning, over the road, was a new mare. He'd gone, we had the mare and the ownership papers, and that's how Habibi began.
Danny Holiday took up residence with the Crofskeys and was sent to the now Linwood Park-based sire Ekra. Both Peter and Heather were taken by the American-bred sire when he first arrived in New Zealand at Stony Bridge.
Pete and I have both had a dream to breed stayers, the classic horses. Pete took one look, we both did, and said, he will produce a Derby winner. He had the type and the breeding, and it was a gut feeling this was the stallion that we wanted. So in our very lay way and starting out, yes, we went to Ekra and we went 3 times with Danny to Ekra. What he's produced, winners to runners, has been extraordinary, but we believe in him right from the first year he stood, and I'm so glad we stuck with him.
Oh, he was a strong sire. He raced to his 6-year-old and he was a Group 1 winner in Italy, I think, and he got second to a very good horse in Hong Kong. And she went 3 times. The first one was reasonable, the second one was very slow, and this third one, well, history tells us.
But it was third time lucky that we struck something special.
Danny Holiday foaled Habibi in the paddock outside the Crofskey family home, and it was from an early age that the precocious filly caught the eye of both Peter and Heather.
She'd always be in the bin before the others and always at the gate first.
She stood out in the paddock. I think she had 4 or 5 fillies, you know, with her. She was the boss of the paddock. She had a really arrogant attitude, and I'm Queen Bee, which she retains to this day. But she was extremely loving. She stood out from other horses.
Peter and Heather elected not to head to the yearling sales with Habibi, but to race her themselves. The pair sent the filly to Ruakaka, making good on a promise they'd made to Donna Logan more than a decade before.
She done us a favour a few years ago, and we've always spoke to her at the sales, and we said one day we'll send her a horse, and fate has it, that was the horse.
And we sent it up, and the rest is history. And there's something prophetic and maybe fateful in things that we do, because I don't think there could have been a better trainer for her, who loves horses, who, I don't know, but the way they trained her was just extraordinary.
Habibi was a surprise winner on debut over 1,200 metres at Ruakaka in October and continued to impress her connections through the spring, remaining unbeaten in her first 3 race day appearances. The Crofskeys' dream of breeding a Derby winner was beginning to look like it might become a reality.
By the 3rd win, I said to Donna, do we dare to dream here, Donna? Is this something special? And she got that really hard, tough Donna Logan look, and she just said, dream. And she said, and what is your dream? And Peter and I said, it's the Derby, Donna. We sort of went, oh, it's the Derby. And she said, right. So we didn't go for the fillies races. Donna thought the colts were much better to take on, that she could handle all of that.
They placed her superbly those 2 days in the colts and geldings, because Fix was in the other race, so it worked out well.
300 metres to go. Habibi ranged up on the outside of Impel and Addictive Habit. 2 lengths away, Swipe of the Fox. Further out then Valbuena. Habibi in front at the 100 metres. By a length now from in second spot. Addictive Habit, Impel and then Swipe of the Fox. But have a look at a very smart filly here. Unbeaten in 4 starts and a Group 2 winner. Habibi straight up on the outside with Addictive Habit. Still has a little bit to offer. Then Solar Eclipse. Dean Martin further back in the field. Cantarino. It's Habibi. She burst clear at the 100 metres. She's home, James. Habibi, 5 from 5. She just keeps on stepping up. Habibi's out into the clear, 5 lengths off them. It's Carlsberg, the leader. Fix is coming after it. Habibi's 2 lengths away. She's winding up. Carlsberg, Fix, Habibi. These are the 3. Then St. Kit. Fix going to Carlsberg. Habibi's about to strut her stuff. Here she comes. Habibi. Fix is trying ever so hard on the inside, but the Derby goes north. She is the Derby baby. Habibi won it.
There's no feeling like it when she went past Fix, I can tell you. It changed everybody's lives.
Sealing the Group 1 victory in the New Zealand Derby earned Habibi a trip to Australia in the autumn, and subsequently she was sold to George Strawbridge Jr.'s Augustin stables in America, with the Crofskeys retaining a minority share. Peter and Heather continue to breed from Danny Holiday, with a half-sister by The Way You Are currently in work with the Logans, and a yearling colt by Mr. Nacho waiting in the wings. Danny Holiday will return to Ekra this season.
And I think what it's done for all breeders, like ourselves and really little people in racing, you can have a belief and you can have a lot of help along the way, which is what we had. But we did have a belief and we made our dream, and it's something special that it will live with us for always.
Fate, it's a lot to do with fate, really, I think. We were very lucky. It's not easy to do with 1 or 2 mares, but it can happen. The small breeder can breed a good horse, and there's no set formula. You can cut the odds, but there's no set formula in breeding racehorses.
We wait with anticipation for Habibi to make her debut on American soil. It's now time for Kiwi Bred Abroad, where we link up with New Zealand Bloodstock's Mike Kneebone in Asia.
Hi and welcome to another edition of Kiwi Bred Abroad. It's brought to you by the compliments of the Singapore Turf Club, who race from their Kranji base here every Friday and Sunday. We're going to start with the Hong Kong Racing Awards, and this year the champion miler went once again to Ambitious Dragon, the very good horse by Pins, and also the new champion by Thorne Park called All You Wish, who took out the champion Griffin. Ambitious Dragon's best victory of the season came in the Group 1 Longines Hong Kong Mile during the coveted international race meeting, turning the tables on glorious days. He went on to add another stakes victory in the new year, winning the Hong Kong Group 1 Queen Silver Jubilee Cup. Ambitious Dragon is by Waikato Stud's outstanding sire Pins. He's trained in Hong Kong by Tony Millard for the owner Johnson Lam. His impressive record now stands at 13 wins from just 26 starts, and he's earned over $57 million Hong Kong in prize money. All You Wish made a very promising start to his early career, winning 5 out of his first 6 starts. The 3-year-old debuted back in December of last year, winning over 1,200 metres. He was only beaten once in his second start when he was carrying 60.5 kilos. He has won his last 4 starts in a row, all over 1,400 metres. He's trained in Hong Kong by Dennis Yip. Singapore's most talented 2-year-old is the champion War Affair. He's by O'Reilly, and his most dominant win of the season was on the 29th of May in the Golden Horseshoe Series over 1,200 metres here at Kranji. This week we're going to catch up with Mark Walker and talk about his champion War Affair. Mark, War Affair, champion 2-year-old in Singapore, you'd have to be very happy with him.
Yeah, he's a really nice horse, Mio, and you know, hopefully just matures with a bit more age and a bit more time as well. So a little bit surprised that he's, you know, done as well as he has at such a young age, but you know, a lot to look forward to, I think.
Yeah, the purchase, he came out of the Caracas sales.
Yeah, David paid 70,000 at the Premier sale. He's product to Trelawney. He's had a good run from Trelawney. He got Warhorse out of there as well. So no, he's a really, really nice horse.
For a big scopy sort of an individual, that type of O'Reilly, did David think he'd come up as a 2-year-old that early?
Probably not. Like, probably bought him as more of a 3-year-old and perhaps a Singapore Derby type horse. And yeah, it's been a bit of a bonus, I think. So hopefully things continue the way they're going.
Yeah, apart from winning, what's his best racing attribute that you love about him?
Well, I think he's just typical Kiwi bred. They just get here, they acclimatise well, and just eats and sleeps and wants to please you.
You talk about derbies and things like that coming up in the future. Is that his plan? I mean, the 4-year-old's obviously when he'll be a derby horse in Singapore here, but there's some rich pickings for the 3-year-olds.
Yeah, well, obviously they've got a bit of a new series here in the, well, I suppose it's spring. You don't really have a spring here, but springtime, and he'll race through that series as a 12, 14 and a mile, and then we'll put him aside and set him for the Guineas in the autumn.
Well, that's it for this week. It goes to show you what a champion sire O'Reilly really is. On behalf of the Singapore Turf Club, we'll see you next time.